Hello guys and welcome back. Looks as though Age of Mythology has just announced the new DLC, which is the Chinese DLC, which we knew was coming, and it's called the Immortal Pillars. It does look as though it's going to be bringing back some of the original myth units from the extended edition Chinese DLC. Obviously they'll have all been reworked, but it does look as though there's going to be some of those coming back. So let's dive in, have a look at the trailer, and then we'll see what we can spot from it. Okay, so at the start of the trailer, we see this little fish thing swimming around in this big pond or river or whatever it is. I'm going to assume that's going to be some sort of myth unit, which we've not seen in extended edition. So it'll be interesting to see what that is and what it does. But we've also got this guy at the back here, which looks as though he's riding some sort of, I don't know, some sort of horned dog thing with red eyes. So we'll see what that is. That certainly looks as though it's something new. So that was the first little bit that I saw from this. I mean, the scenery and the way it all looks just looks amazing. By the way, look at the sky. It looks amazing, beautiful graphics. Following on from that, we saw this clip here, which looks as though we've got a couple of the myth units from the old game coming through. We've got the white tiger. It looks as though they've made some changes to it. It's not just a tiger anymore, but certainly got the white tiger coming through. It looks as though it's actually got a bit of a lion's mane to it, as well as these little red bits to distinguish which team it's on, I suppose, which player's unit it is. But we've got the white tiger there. This was a unit that would jump into battle, quite a strong unit. And then we've got this sort of a winged tiger. Now in the extended edition there was a winged lion, which was called the Piju, and that generated gold whilst it was fighting. So we'll see whether it still does that. I mean, it has got some gold anklets on so that could be an indicator, but we do seem to have those two myth units that have come through from the extended edition, which is going to be quite interesting. Also, we've got some main foot soldiers here. That was that scene, so good to see we've got a couple of the old units coming through. Like I say, I think they're probably reworked from before, and then we get to see them again from a different angle, or at least the Piju. I think we've potentially got another unit there. This one's probably the Keeling, I want to say. Could be the Keeling. So the Keeling was a mythical sort of god omen that spurted healing golden blood upon its death. So we'll see whether that's still going to be the case, and whether that is actually that unit. Not sure. There is another candidate that could be the Keeling, which is going to be on this next screen here. So I was wondering whether this thing could be the Keeling as well. Not quite sure. This little black thing with the yellow horns. So obviously that's the one, the big one at the back. There's the one that I spoke about first. But that could be potentially it as well. It looks like there's another myth unit there that's got some sort of fire coming off its tail. So interesting to see what that one is going to be. And then we can see we've got the dragon turtles, which were a unit in extended edition. They're sort of an amphibious unit, so it can go on land and water. And it looks as though we've got a titan there as well. There is a big beastly bull guy with like loads of arms. I think he's going to be the main bad guy. So I think this is as Titan. I think the bull type figure is the main bad guy who's kind of turned into a god. That's going to be my best understanding from what I can see. But then we've got this scene here where there's the army sort of marching along. We've got these guys at the front of the screen, or in the foreground of the screen, wearing white. Potentially they could be monks. There was a monk unit within the Chinese civilization in extended edition. This guy in the middle, potentially a general, so they did have a general unit in there as well. That could just be the main sort of hero character, we don't know. But then it looks as though we've got some pretty cool looking siege at the back. Something that looks like a catapult, but not sure what it is. It looks like we've got some sort of ballistas, and then these things in the middle that seem to walk on their own. They're sort of like mechanized walking things. I don't really know how to explain it, but they look like they've got a bull's head at the front. I'm wondering if there's some sort of battering ram, sort of like a robot battering ram, if you like. Then it looks as though we've just got some units, normal sort of soldiers, but then we've got these guys on horses, which initially I thought they were just going to be some sort of lancer unit, but I think they're actually fire lancers, as they have them in Age of Empires 4. So it looks as though the tips of the lancers are slightly orange in colour. Can't quite tell, but I'm wondering if they're fire lancers. If they are fire lancers, they were really good in Age of Empires 4 at wrecking buildings. So keep an eye out for those. And then we've got this clip of the Titan, or the main bad guy. I don't think he's the Titan. I think he's going to turn into being a god at the end of the campaign. And we can see we've got the villagers, and it looks as though this guy that's just to the side of the bull guy, looks as though that's going to be one of the Chukanus. So we do have Chukanus coming back. And then in this next clip, we could see a load more of those units that I was not quite sure if one of those was the Keelin. We do have the Piju there as well. And we've got some more of those lancers. Now I can't see that the lancers have got orange tips on them here, so they just look as though maybe it's a unit that has a flaming attack, maybe. We shall see. But then we've got these massive, like, giant people. So I'm going to assume they're another myth unit, and we can see there's some more of the Chukanu in there as well. We then saw a little clip of the bull guy, who has certainly grown since we last saw him. He's looking pretty huge now, but we do have some more people on those little weird dog things, which look like they're part deer, part dog. I've got a couple of those in some of the shots. And we also saw the big dragon flying around at the top. Now this was, I'm going to assume, is the Azure dragon from Extended Edition. Which it was an amphibious unit in Extended Edition. This time it's flying, so it might be a totally different unit, but it is the only sort of dragon that we get to see. This one's flying rather than sort of walking and swimming. But again, we've seen a few more of those weird and dog deer people, and the Titan and the God have been having a fight, so it looks as though the Titan's lost. He's gone crashing into a building, assuming that is the Titan. And that's it. So let me know what you think in the comments. How hyped are you to see this new DLC? I'm quite hyped. It looks pretty good, actually. So we'll see what comes from it, and I'm looking forward to finding out a bit more. Cheers, guys. I'll see you on the next one.